everybody, it's Sharon here. Welcome back to my channel for those who are returning, and welcome to any new subscribers that may be visiting for the first time. I was watching a video of Gayle's today. I think it was the one right before she is heading off on her retreat, or she's not far off. Hope you have a fabulous time, Gayle. I'm envious. I think she mentioned 10 hours of crafting a day, and I was like, that would be so fun. And to do it with friends is even more fun. So I hope you have a wonderful time. Anyway, she was working on her latest journal and had these little pockets, and I hadn't done any of these pockets for quite a while. So I decided I would revisit. So I put them together. They are, I can quickly show you. They are 2 pieces of book paper for one pocket, and I'm going to use the ones that I've made as a guide because I do want to make this one the same size. And which way do I want to go? This way. So when I made mine, I eyeballed the, that's a weird saying, I eyeballed how deep I wanted my pocket. And I used the lines of text as a guide. So I went 3, 6, 7 lines up basically. And this is a Wizard of Oz book, so it's reasonably large text. And then this one here. So my aim was just to try and make them as close to a similar size as possible. And you can change them. For the ones you make, you might want to have a deeper pocket at the bottom and not so deep in the middle. And then once I had those together, I just paper clipped them together like this and sewed around the edges, and that creates your little pockets. I'll pop that one aside and I'll sew it together later. So it gives you 3 pockets, and depending on how you attach it to your page, you can have another pocket behind, you can have one in the side. You could use it as a flip if you wanted to. Anyway, so I was going to collage. Now I've pulled out these AntiquePaperie papers. I think I've got 3 slightly plainer papers, not so busy. No, I have 4. I have 5 even. Okay, I'm just going to stop talking now because that would be 6. Can count. And then I've pulled out a few slightly busier papers that I thought might work okay with my paper pad that I'm using. And so what I'm thinking is I might do alternate. So an alternate between the busy and the not so busy. Having the busy at the front is what I'm thinking. So I'm just going to decide. I really like this one here. I really like the butterflies at the bottom. So and good opportunity to test out hubby's tear ruler that he made me. Haven't really put it to good use yet, so being stubborn. Quite like the edge that gave me. Hope you can see that. Like I said, I haven't had a chance to play with the tear ruler before. Oh well, I had a little play when he first made it, but that was 5 seconds. Oops, that wasn't very successful. Okay, and just going to size up. So I'm not completely covering the stitching. I don't want to cover the stitching. And I just remembered I was meant to ink the pockets before I sewed them together. Oh well, I'll have to do that part now. That's fine. And this side. That's fun. Hubby did quite a good job with my tear ruler. As you may have seen in a previous video, we did pick up a couple of extra rulers. He's going to make me a couple of different ones, so perhaps one that's not quite as jagged, I guess is the word I'm looking for. And then I don't know, maybe one a little bit more so. I haven't really decided, but actually we might just do it this way. Most of it's going to be covered anyway. Oh, and this one here I realised I actually did two. There's two book pages in the centre, which was absolutely an accident. It was actually a page that I was saving for the image, and I had sewn it into the pocket. I was like, oh, it wasn't meant to be. It was a whoopsie. Sorry guys, I should have done this before I turned the camera on. Okay. So and I'm glad Gayle reminded me of these little pockets because they are quite quick to make and very effective. And because of the size of the journal I'm making, I can actually use a complete book page rather than cutting it down. So if you have a smaller journal, you may need to check and make sure that it will actually fit on the... I read that as moth just then and I was like, no, they're butterflies. It says mouth. What was I saying? Yes, just check and make sure it will fit on your page. Otherwise you can cut the sides down, like trim the sides and the top and the bottom if you need to before you fold them to make it work better. Okay, so I'm not going to use the tear edge on this one. I think I'll just do a straight edge and change it up a little bit. Turn it upside down so I can get the right. Everything I touch at the moment I feel like I'm sticking to. I've even washed my hands a couple of times. Seems like I've been playing with the glues too long. Okay. Again, I want to ink. I was just thinking I should have that's not too bad. I wanted to tuck it inside the pocket a little bit, and I don't think I really allowed for that, so, but it should still work. Well, this is going to be tricky. Okay. Like I like the flowers in here. Which ones? I go a bit lower. This bit here is calling out to me, so I guess I should listen to myself. Where? About there, I think. Done now. And I want to go inside the pocket a little bit. And I used the wrong edge of the ruler, but that's okay because that part will be in the pocket anyway, so it was probably a good thing. Oh, that didn't work very well. I don't think I've come across far enough. Okay. That was a little awkward. Actually, I might tear that by hand, I think. Probably should have torn that edge before I used the ruler on it. I don't actually mind that that piece is torn off either. I thought that would bug me, but it doesn't. Okay. Seems to be a bit too wide. No wonder I end up with sticky fingers. Seriously, these papers are so pretty. How gorgeous is that? And I'm wondering about a little bit of this blue at the top. I think that's the way I want to go. So I need to tear my oh dear. Sometimes I feel like I'm being all khaki-handed. Okay. So this blue here is what I'm thinking. And about there should do it. Playing with these papers from AntiquePaperie and Tracie Fox's digitals just made me more keen to try a digital journal kit. Seriously, papers are gorgeous. I love that. And I love that it's not pink at the top. Done. I don't even think I want to add a focal point. I think the papers are pretty enough. And once I have tags and things in there, I don't believe it needs any more. I don't know, maybe a bit of lace. Let me have a look. Oh well, I just bumped something that I shouldn't have. See, I'm covering my butterflies, which I really don't want to do. I think I'm going to leave it like that, guys. I really don't want to cover up all the pretty papers. They'll be covered enough with the tags, whatever journaling tags go inside, so I don't want to cover them anymore. Sorry, just having trouble getting my drawer to go back in. Something's not sitting right. Well, hallelujah. I'll have to have a think about that. I really don't want to cover the pretty papers. Okay, next. Do I like that butterfly? I'll cut the bottom of it off. I think I'm okay with that. Let's try it. Where did I put my tear ruler? tearing the wrong way. Got myself all flustered after trying to get that drawer to go in. Okay. Why not, I say, why not? Or do I want him? I think I want him up there, actually. Yes. Sorry, last minute decision. Oh, don't need to do the bottom, or do I? I wasn't planning on putting it up here, was I? Oh no, I don't need to. But I do need to ink this before I go any further. Pocket tore slightly with the stitching when I was sewing it, but that's okay. That was part of the reason I did the double stitch around this pocket. And I don't know if you all realised, and I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but I left the brown cotton in when I did these. And I thought that that would bring the brown cotton from the last pocket set that I did. If you remember correctly, I only did one of those pockets in the dark brown. This glue is, the lid is really hard to get off. Sorry about that. Yes, I only did one pocket in the dark brown because I preferred the cream, but I quite like it on these pockets because, I don't know if it's because it's just against the book paper. Okay. That's one. It's a little bit too dark. Maybe that butterfly. This will be a butterfly pocket. So I want this torn here. I'll tear this across here. maybe across the bottom of the butterfly. I am cutting off the very bottom of his wing, but that's okay. How far across? A little ways further. Right there. Okay, I feel like that was a little bit too low. Can I bring it up a little bit? Keep your fingers crossed. Hello there, I didn't realise the video had stopped taping. I'm so sorry about that. I have just finished the second pocket and went to check my focus and realised that it had no longer been recording. So, but anyway, so they're my two pockets and I'll do the third one now. I'll just have to remember. They are so pretty, seriously. I'll just have to keep an eye on the video. I don't know why it did that. You probably didn't miss a lot, just me babbling about nothing. Okay, so I actually like, can I tear it about here? And that would be the wrong way. So this butterfly I want at the top of the pocket. I'm thinking. Probably a good thing the camera turned off. I did some really silly things like reach for the ink instead of the glue stick. I probably shouldn't talk too soon. I don't actually know how long the video was turned off. You may end up seeing that anyway. Dearie me. I did do a lot of inking last night. Every time I look at this paper, I see more and more detail in it. Sorry, I'm using my left hand at the moment. I'm clearly not left-handed. Okay. But once I started, I couldn't really stop. Yep, pretty. And that tore a little bit into the paper, but that's okay. Once it's glued down, it shouldn't be too noticeable. Actually, I might Might glue this one down, I think. It's getting just a little on the tacky side. Elephant. I think there was an elephant mentioned on one of our other pockets we did, although I think I ended up covering it up, but kind of funny that it's there. Maybe that pretty rose. Why not, she says. Why not? Pocket isn't very big. I want it to be bigger so I can see more of the rose. How funny. Oh, and I'm tearing the wrong way. Now I'm doing it with my left hand again. What am I thinking? It doesn't help me measure it if I don't have it over the pocket properly. Okay, maybe a little bit further. Fabulous. Oh yeah. Makes me happy. Seriously, these papers couldn't be any prettier. And having this extra layer of the decorative paper does help strengthen these pockets a little too. The paper I'm using here is reasonably delicate, but once this paper is glued down and dries, they become that little bit stronger. So if you're worried about your book paper, you could always do double sheets and glue them together before you fold them. Oh my goodness, they're pretty. I'm still in love with this blue. I don't know what happened here. It's very crooked. Too funny. I do want to straighten that up a little if I can. Oh, that didn't really make much difference, but making sure it will fit in the pocket. Oh yeah. Does anybody else get so excited about papers? I need Oh my goodness. I just reached for the ink again. I think I need to move it out of the way, but I can't because I'm using it. Maybe that's my confusion. I don't know. Maybe I really am just losing the plot. I'm getting excited about these pockets too because I really love them. Okay, what do I have left? I think that works. Why not, she says. I want to tear that just a little off the top. Shouldn't have done that, it stuck to my finger. Oh my goodness. So about there. See, ink for inking. I think I forgot to, did I? I don't think I distressed this either. That was a bit silly. Maybe that's why I'm reaching for the ink. Somebody is trying to tell me that I forgot to ink it. Thank you, whoever you are. I'm sorry I wasn't listening. Oh my goodness. Can't believe I forgot. Oh well, it's pretty now. Let's do that. That's why I got the ink out. Okay. Just looking at these scraps on my table and I'm going, maybe I need to do another project with the scraps. So maybe when I finish this video, even though I'm doing crazy things and maybe not even making sense, I will probably continue. So I may even turn the camera back on while I do something with those. But for now, oh my goodness, they are the prettiest things ever. And we can pop some delicious tags in there. How pretty are they, guys? Gayle, thank you for the inspiration. I'm so glad you reminded me about these pockets. I've had lots of fun, actually. They sent me to my happy place. So I hope you all enjoyed, everybody. My crazy antics along with it. Sorry about that. AntiquePaperie, your papers are divine. Anyway, everybody, happy crafting, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Please like if you like this video and subscribe so that you don't miss any future videos, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye, everybody.